It's 6:14 am when the black car shows up outside your building. You didn't call for one. A man in a gray suit leans against it, holding a leather folder with your name printed on the front. You've never met him in your life. He says 3 words. You need to come. You don't argue with the man who already knows your address. The office downtown smells like old paper and air conditioning turned up too high. A woman named Carol sits across from you. She doesn't smile. She slides a single sheet of paper towards you the way someone hands over a verdict, not a gift. Your great uncle, a man you met exactly twice in your life, both times at funerals that weren't his, has died. He left you $50 billion. 50, with 9 zeros stacked behind it. You laugh. You think it's a mistake. Carol doesn't laugh. She tells you the terms instead. The full amount has to be spent, not donated, not gifted, not parked in some account to quietly grow. Spent on real legal, titled goods and services, before midnight tonight. Whatever's left when the clock hits 12 goes back into a trust you'll never touch again. No appeals, no extensions. He built it that way on purpose. You ask her why. She says he believed money that sits still is wasted, and money that's forced to move shows you exactly who you are. You don't have time to sit with that. You have about 17 hours. By 7, you've got an account number, an advisor named Felix who picks up on the first ring, and a number on a screen that doesn't feel real yet. The first instinct is the obvious one. A house. You call 3 agents at once. By 8:30. You own a $40 million estate on a coastline you've never actually seen. Sold to you sight unseen. It still doesn't feel real. You buy 2 more houses just to feel something. It still doesn't. Felix starts a spreadsheet. 50 billion divided across roughly 17 hours comes out to almost $3 million a minute. You say that number out loud once. Then you stop saying it. Because saying it makes your hands shake. You move into watches, cars, art. The things wealth is supposed to look like in the movies. A Patek Philippe collection that took a private dealer 30 years to put together. Gone in 20 minutes. 6 hypercars bought before lunch. Parked in garages you'll never have time to visit, let alone drive. By noon, you've spent $900 million. And it barely shows up as a dent. The first real wall hits around 1. You try to buy an entire office tower downtown. Cash offer, full price today. The seller wants the deal. It still needs lawyers, title searches, a closing date weeks out. Nobody can move a building from one name to another in an afternoon. Not even for full price. Not even for you. Felix tells you the truth. You didn't want yet. Money moves fast. Ownership does in single quotes so you pivot to things that move faster. You buy gold. Tons of it. Straight from a refinery. You buy an entire season's diamond output from a mine in Africa before the gems are even cut. You buy every rare violin that's come up at auction this year. Sealed in cases. Locked in a vault you'll forget by tomorrow. None of it means anything to you anymore. It's just numbers. Leaving in account. By 4, $11 billion is gone. And you feel hollow in a very specific way. The way you feel after eating too fast. Felix starts calling brokers. Buy stock. Lots of it. Because shares change hands instantly. The moment you start buying in size, the market notices. Prices climb the instant your own orders hit the tape. Every dollar you spend in the next hour gets you less than the dollar before it did. The math is running backward. By 7, trading halts on one exchange because of unusual activity. They don't say your name. They don't need to. You're sitting at 34 billion spent with 5 hours left, and 16 billion still sitting there, completely useless, completely yours. You buy out an entire airline's fleet of planes with no plan for what they're for. You buy mineral rights to a small mountain range. You don't even know what's underneath it. You just need the number to move. Somewhere around 10, you sit down for the first time all day. Your hands are shaking, not from excitement anymore, from something closer to panic. You think about your great uncle, man you barely knew, designing this exact moment decades before you'd ever live it. At 11:40, Felix reads the final number out loud. 4.2 billion remaining. 20 minutes left. You buy land, raw, undeveloped, anywhere a deed can be signed electronically before midnight. The number drops. 1.8 billion. 600 million. The minutes feel shorter than they should. At T11:58. You're 40 million short of zero with 2 minutes left. And there's nothing left to buy that fast. You watch the clock the way you'd watch a wound. At midnight, it just stops. The remaining 40 million quietly leaves your account and slides back into a trust with your great uncle's name on it. You sit in a room full of paperwork for properties you've never seen, completely exhausted, completely rich, and somehow feeling like you lost. You spent $49.96 billion in under 18 hours. And the last 40 million still beats you. Carol calls the next morning. She tells you something your great uncle wrote down for this exact moment. He said the lesson was never about spending all of it. He said almost nobody manages that. He said the real lesson was watching you find out that money moves at the speed of trust, and paperwork, and other people's patience. You hang up. You look out at a coastline you own and have never once walked on. You think about how rich you already were at 6 in the morning, before any of this started. You're still one of the wealthiest people alive. You just spent your entire fortune learning that wealth was never about the number. It was about how fast the world lets you move it.